What is happening, guys, and welcome back to the channel. For today's discussion video, we have so much to talk about, ranging from Rise of the Beasts, DNA designs, legacy evolution, and a whole host of leaked listings that hopefully we'll see in reality sometime next year. And to be honest, it couldn't have come at a better time. At the moment, I am hard at work on the end of year Studio Series ranking video, which should go up on Christmas Day if everything goes to plan, so definitely be sure to watch out for that. And review-wise, honestly, I don't have that much planned for the next couple of weeks until we actually get into the new year, so I think it's just going to be mainly a majority of ranking videos, etc., but some pretty cool ones. But anyway, we're going to get stuck into today's video. As always, it's worth bearing in mind that all of these leaked listings you should take with a pinch of salt, but 9 times out of 10 they always are proven to be pretty much correct, and some of the names for 2023, especially Commander and Titan class for Legacy Evolution, are just going to be absolutely mind-blowing. But first of all, we're going to be discussing some brand new DNA design news, and it's basically an upgrade kit for the HasLab Star Saber. Already, I mean, that guy's only been out for a couple of weeks, but DNA Designs ain't slacking, and they've come out with some pretty cool pieces. So basically, those big V-Lock cannons that he has over his shoulders, they've given us complete brand new molds, ones which are not hollow, which, to be honest, I think we should have seen straight away with the original HasLab. I mean, it's a HasLab. Why are they so badly hollowed? And that was one of the biggest complaints I had about that figure. They're also going to be giving us a larger blade for the, I imagine, Star Saber, which I think is quite cool. For some weird reason, a different face guard. Not too sure why they're going to be giving us that, and some bigger wings. So basically the wingspan is going to be massive when you actually get him into the Victory Saber combination mode. And yeah, they look cool. Will this be an upgrade kit I pick up? Honestly, more than likely. I usually pick up all of the upgrade kits. I think they're fantastic, but nothing here that is particularly too special besides those filled out cannons, which, to be honest, they could have released a few gap fillers for, I guess. Then we're going to jump into some leaks which I believe surfaced probably around about this time last week, and that was the Legacy Evolution animated Prowl and the second deluxe class Junkion. Now, I knew that Prowl was going to be animated, or at least I had a very good idea that that's what it was going to be. I mean, we'd recently got so many different versions of the Datsun Prowl for Earthrise and Kingdom, and loads of different Generation Select molds, so I really didn't think they were going to give us yet another version of that character so soon. And yes, it is an animated character, our first animated character for Transformers Legacy, and wow, it is so much more faithful when in comparison to some of those Prime designs. I mean, if you literally look now in hindsight at that Transformers Prime universe inspired RC, it just looks so bad, and this Prowl makes it look even worse. I mean, if you were to hand me that character a couple of years back without the color deco, I literally wouldn't be able to tell that that was supposed to be RC based on the Prime universe. So such a shame that those designs in particular suffered so badly, but these animated ones look pretty sick. So here we have Prowl. They actually did kind of keep the chin. I mean, it's been cut away a little bit. They've basically just made him a little more chunky, which, to be honest, I don't have an issue with at all. He's definitely faithful to the design. Straight away you can tell who it's supposed to be, what universe it's supposed to be from, and he comes with some pretty sick weapons. I mean, he actually comes with those shuriken blades which attach onto the side of the legs, which I thought was cool. We get an image here of him from kind of a back perspective, which again, he's looking to be very clean, which is awesome. And then here we have a few shots of him in the bike mode. Now, from a frontal perspective, this actually looks pretty decent, and again, very faithful to even the deluxe animated Prowl that we saw way back, I want to say in 2007 or 2008, so that's pretty sweet. But then here we have a shot of it from a side perspective, and I'm not sure whether or not it's mistransformed, but it does look a little ugly, especially where the hips are, etc. I'll just reserve my judgment for when I actually do my review, I guess. But yeah, definitely a pretty cool figure. Turned out a lot better than I was expecting, and way cooler than any of those Transformers Prime characters, which is awesome. And then next up we have our first look at the second Junkion for Legacy. Now, I'm not too sure whether or not Hasbro's going to throw a curveball in here and perhaps be giving us a Junkion combiner. I know there's some rumors of them giving us, I think it's around 4 deluxe Junkions and then 1 Voyager. So could we potentially be looking at Voyager torso and then deluxe limbs? I guess we'll have to wait and see, but these Junkions definitely do feel, to me at least, as if though they could be a combiner, especially with the whole customization. You know, they're very similar to the fossilizers that we saw for Kingdom, and we all know the crazy combinations that we can come up with those guys. But here we have the robot mode. Looks very similar to, you know, Scrap Hook. It follows a similar design aesthetic as you would expect from a Junkion. Looks cool. I actually really like the asymmetrical design between the legs. Thought that was pretty sweet. One thing which did take me by surprise is he doesn't seem as accessory heavy as Scrap Hook. I mean, that guy came with in total, I want to say 8 different pieces. This one, by the looks of things, only comes with 4, the 2 smokestacks and then these massive kind of engine block things that smack onto the side of the bike. And yeah, they look pretty cool. There were a few sus slots on the side of the legs, which lead me to believe that maybe he can combine with another Junkion, or maybe if you buy 2 of this same Junkion, you can attach them, especially if you look at some of the Legacy Evolution Evolution artwork, there are two bikes which look like they're combined. So I guess we'll have to wait and see for the official reveal, but some decent images here of the robot mode, and here we have a picture of the bike mode, and I love the Junkion designs. They're very complex. I think that's why I like them so much. To me at least, they kind of remind me of some of the live action movie stuff, and yeah, this Junkion looks pretty cool. I mean, Legacy Wave 2 just as a whole for the second year is looking to be fantastic. We got a leak of, I think it was the Transformers Prime inspired Skyquake. That looked awesome. Here we have Prowl and the second Junkion, and I think there's some rumors of some pretty cool Voyagers that are up and coming. But now we're going to get stuck into the juicy stuff. The reason why I think you guys are all here, and that would be some of the leak listings for upcoming 2023 Transformers product, and we're going to start off big. So the first leak listing is a character which I did briefly speculate in a previous video, a previous discussion video I did, that being a Transformers Legacy Commander 2 Armada Optimus Prime. So this is going to be the second Commander class of 2023, and don't worry, I'll get into more of that later on in the video, but Armada Optimus Prime. I mean, to be fair, we kind of had a good idea this was coming. He's slap bang and center in the Legacy Evolution artwork, and I mean, they've been giving us some pretty sweet Armada characters. I think that Leader Megatron is rumored for Wave 3, and then we also got Starscream, we got Hotshot, so Armada Prime, we've been hyping him up for years since he was shown off at one of those toy fairs, and sadly that figure never came to be, but it looks like he's coming to us in some way, shape or form, so very much so looking forward to that. Then we have confirmation, or at least the closest thing we're going to get to that until we get the official reveal of the name of the next Titan, and it is the Nemesis. Now this too was also a character I speculated. The face that we have slap bang and center on that poster, to me, whilst it did share similarities to Tarn, it was just a little different, and kind of in the background we had the Nemesis in its ship mode, so I definitely think that this was always going to be the Titan class for Legacy Evolution Year 2, and it's about damn time. I think they teased this on the box art for the Arc that we saw released in 2021, so by the time this comes out, it'll be 2 years that they would have been hyping this up, and there's some rumors that this is going to be our first female Titan. Apparently it's meant to be basically be kind of a female inspired version of Tarn, which I think is going to be pretty sick. I'm looking forward to seeing as to how this one turns out and how awesome that Nemesis ship mode is going to be, as at least for me, I think the Arc really shines in its Arc mode. The robot mode was cool, but definitely wasn't one of the best Titans we've seen, but this Nemesis, I mean, looking to be pretty sweet in both modes by the sounds of things. And then we jump into some Rise of the Beast listings. Now I know there's been some confusion in regards to Rise of the Beast because we've seen a few characters which are rumoured to be a part of a mainline, and then some which are rumoured to be part of Studio Series. As far as I can tell, these mainline figures were originally supposed to come out in 2022 when the film was originally meant to hit the screen, and then in 2023 we were always going to be getting the slightly more movie accurate finalised versions of the designs in Studio Series, but because the movie was delayed, they literally had to postpone all of those 2022 figures to 2023, and that's why basically we're getting two of the same characters, which I don't know how that's going to work out sales wise. I mean, surely many collectors are going to try and get the Studio Series versions, and if the Studio Series counterparts come out before these mainline versions, then are people really going to pick them up? I'm not too sure. I mean, I will for review purposes, but for the mass audience, I'm not too sure. But anyway, we have confirmation that we're also going to be getting a deluxe class mainline Cheetor. Now this is pretty cool because we know we're going to be getting a Voyager Studio Series version, so it opens up a few different options for collectors out there who perhaps don't want to fork out a Voyager price tag for a Cheetor and prefer the cheaper alternative, that being the deluxe. And I'll actually be quite intrigued to see the differences between the two, considering they're going to be based on the same design yet different price points. There's also going to be some Voyagers in this Rise of the Beast toy line, which up until this point none of us knew about. We thought that it was going to be a deluxe only line. I mean, the figures that we've got leaked for it so far, I believe, are Air Razor, Nightbird and Wheeljack, so no Voyagers in that assortment, but it's looking like they're going to go back to the old days, back to Dark of the Moon, Revenge of the Fallen, where they're literally giving us a proper mainline alongside some of the gimmick-based toys, which I think is quite cool. So in this Voyager assortment, we're going to be seeing an Optimus Prime, which I think is fantastic because up until this point, there have been no rumours of a Rise of the Beast Optimus, which is just crazy considering that he was so prominent in the trailer. He's one of the biggest characters to come out of that film, and I mean, come on, it's Optimus Prime. When have we never got a proper Generations version of that character in a movie toy line in the first wave? So awesome to see that here. There's also going to be a Voyager Rhinox. Now, if my memory serves correctly, I think there's also rumours of a Studio Series Rhinox as well, so I mean, two Voyagers of the same character. I'll be quite intrigued to see which one does it better, or is it going to be a case that one has a better robot mode when in comparison to the Beast mode? I guess we'll have to wait and see. And then there's also going to be a Voyager Optimus Primal. Now, we know there's going to be a leader class version in the Studio Series, which I think 9 times out of 10 most people are probably going to go for. It's going to be the bigger, the arguably more superior version. I mean, again, we'll have to wait and see, but this, much like the Cheetor, is a slightly more affordable double version of the character, and again, I think it's good for collectors to have the choice between either the leader or the Voyager, as nowadays there is quite a significant difference between those two price tags. And then we jump into some buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff. Now, this is a little vague. It's going to be basically a Transformers TF7, which is Rise of the Beast, Jungle Escape Pack buzzworthy Bumblebee. Now, if we were to go by any of the past Bumblebee packs, they've all been kind of 4 packs. You know, we got the Creatures Collide, then we got the Worlds Collide. So, will they be doing something similar to that with this? I think so. Maybe they will. Perhaps it'll be 2 Deluxes and 1 Voyager, or just 4 Deluxes. Again, I think we'll have to wait and see. We also got some Studio Series listings. Now, this one is very vague. I honestly have no idea who this could be. It's a War for Cybertron game-based character, and it's basically titled Infantry. War for Cybertron Infantry. Now, when I hear that, immediately I'm kind of drawn to Ironhide, but then I think perhaps it could be Decepticon Protoforms or something. Again, we'll have to wait and see, but 2023 is going to be stacked for mainline Rise of the Beasts and just Studio Series figures in general. There is a lot coming out next year. Probably going to be the biggest year on the channel, so definitely be sure to stay tuned for their reviews. And something which definitely took me by surprise would be Shattered Glass. It is coming back for 2023. I thought they were going to be done with it in 2022 with the Soundwave, but no, we have here a listing for a Shattered Glass Leader Grimlock. Now, this is the second Leader Grimlock that is rumored to come out next year, the other being the kind of Velocitron Capsule G2 version, and if I were to kind of pick between the two, I think this Shattered Glass version is going to be just a little more interesting because I'm not a big fan of the G2 Grimlock colour scheme, I'm not going to lie. Will they use the 86 mould? Probably, but I'm hoping they retool a few pieces because Shattered Glass Grimlock, the last version we got of that character, if my memory serves correctly, had a very kind of Age of Extinction Galvatron-esque looking chest. So that'll be cool. And here we have a whole host of other listings, which again are very vague, but they give us a rough idea of what to expect. So we're going to be seeing an exclusive Bumblebee Movie 7 Hurricane figure. This is a deluxe class, judging by the price point, and there are so many collabs, all ranging from various different price points. So I think there's in total 6 different collabs planned for next year. Whether or not they'll end up being something completely different from a collab, we'll have to wait and see. But some of them are priced that are $150, some of them are around the $48 mark. Then we have one that's $115, $60. It's just crazy pricing. I have no idea what's going on there. So looking forward to seeing as to what maybe that could be. I'm hoping they're better than some of the G.I. Joe crossovers that we saw for this year. There's also going to be a Transformers Generation fan exclusive. Now, this is very similar to the Alpha Trion and Orion Pax fan exclusive that we saw for PulseCon, so I wonder what that's going to be, but it will be similarly priced, so it will be $70 or near enough there. And then there's also going to be another MPM Masterpiece figure, which I think is really exciting. I'm quite intrigued to see as to what character they decide to choose for this, because obviously Rise of the Beasts is coming out, and if we cast our mind back to when the Bumblebee movie came out, they just literally threw a curveball in there and gave us the Volkswagen Bumblebee. Sadly, it was incredibly inaccurate, but will they give us another 2007 movie character like Bone Crusher, or are they going to give us a Rise of the Beast character? I'm not too sure. The price to me is very expensive, so I think if it was to be a 2007 character, it would have to be something like Bone Crusher, because it's 236 Canadian dollars, and that is pretty hefty. So again, it's going to have to be a big character. There's going to be in total at the moment 3 Generation Select figures, one which is retailing for 300 Canadian dollars, which if I had to put my money on it, I'm willing to bet that maybe it's a repaint of a Mega Supreme. I guess we'll have to wait and see. And here we have something which I think is probably the highlight out of these second lot of listings. It's another Commander class. So this is the first year that apparently we're going to be getting 2 Commander figures. Usually we get 1 per year. Last year it was Motormaster, then it was Rodimus, then it was Skylynx, and then Jetfire. So this is going to be the next one. This one here is apparently for Studio Series, which again, our first Studio Series Commander. And it's quite an exciting one. It's apparently an 86 version of Ultra Magnus. Now, Ultra Magnus is a character which, I'm just going to be honest, I think was done so dirty in the War for Cybertron toy line. I hated the Earthrise version or the Kingdom version. I just thought it was incredibly lazy. Wasn't too keen on the Siege version. I mean, to me it was okay, but I'm just not a big fan of that whole White Optimus Prime gimmick. I would much rather the Ultra Magnus that turned into a trailer, and that you could actually stow away some characters in that trailer. And considering this is a Commander, I'm willing to bet that we're finally going to get that version of the character, which is really exciting. Of course, Commander is near enough double leader, so if you thought that the Kingdom version was decent, just imagine how awesome this Commander is going to be. Really looking forward to that one, and it will no doubt destroy the previous 2 versions that we saw for the War for Cybertron line. Now we jump into some kind of gimmick-based thing, so there's going to be a Movie 7 animatronic changer retailing for 190 Canadian dollars. Now, I have no idea what this could be. If I were to bet on anything, I'd say that it could potentially be similar to the kind of one-step mega colossal Grimlock that we saw for the Transformers 4 toy line, but even that I don't think retailed for about nearly 190 Canadian, so that's a little strange. Maybe it'll be a huge version of Optimus Primal. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I definitely think we're going to be seeing more gimmick-based massive characters on Primal, just as he's really one of the biggest draws that Rise of the Beasts has going for it. And here we have more generation stuff, so there's going to be a Bumblebee movie, TF86 2-pack. Now this one I am almost certain is going to be an Ironhide and Ratchet 2-pack, potentially battle damage repaints. I know there were some rumours that the original versions of those characters, so the original 86 Ironhide was meant to include battle damage pieces, but for some reason they left them out. I'm willing to bet that this is literally going to be an 86 recreation of when they get slaughtered on the Autobot shuttle, so definitely watch out for that one. I think that could potentially be quite a cool pack. Will that be their way of giving us Ratchet? I hope not. I mean, I know there were some rumours that we were going to be seeing a standalone version of Ratchet, but we all know how crafty Hasbro is. They could literally throw Ratchet in this 2-pack, and then we'd have to double dip and get 2 versions of Ironhide. And then to round things off, there's going to be a Legacy SS Deluxe, and then a Legacy Buzzworthy Bumblebee Voyager, which, honestly, guys, I have no idea what they could be. There are so many listings, and from Rise of the Beasts, there's a lot of characters, but there's not that many characters unless they're hiding quite a lot of them from us, so a lot to break down in today's video. I mean, some of the highlights for me would have to be the leak of the animated universe Prowl. The Junkion looks really cool, but in terms of the listings, Armada Optimus Prime, that Nemesis is just going to be so cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of these mainline Rise of the Beast figures, especially Optimus Prime, and then in regards to the second load, a Commander class Ultra Magnus. So a lot that we've talked about in today's video. I'd love to get your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you guys think? What are you the most looking forward to out of everything that was discussed here? And again, you should really take it with a pinch of salt, but 9 times out of 10 these listings are always proven to be almost correct, so I have a good feeling that this time next year we could have the majority, if not all of these, in our collections, or at least have some form of official promotional images of them. Very exciting times ahead. 2023 is just going to be absolute madness. So yeah, that was today's video. I thank you guys all so much for watching. This will probably be my last video until after Christmas, so Christmas Day will be the next one, and that should be the Studio Series ranking video. So I really hope you guys enjoy your Christmas, have a safe Christmas, and until my next video, have a happy Christmas. Thank you all so much for watching.